In this video, I will tell you what to expect from this year's tournament edition. We expect the tournament to gather over 150 people from more than 25 countries. BOHEMA is the event created for you. Ever get frustrated with very little fights on the tournament? Not on BOHEMA. With our double pool system, you will have at least 10 fights. Quite good fight per buck value, if I say so myself. But what about judging those many fights, you will ask? Our judges are carefully selected from our best fencers and reinforced with the finest talents from Nordic and Polish scenes. To ensure that the judging experience is smooth and consistent, we are adding a head judge who will move among the rings, harmonizing them and addressing your complaints on the spot. For the most critical, direct elimination fights, we will also utilize video repeats. But let me tell you about the location. First, it's the city of Prague herself, the heart of Europe, the city with numerous historic sites. And it is also incredibly convenient to travel to, easy to find accommodation, and perfect for enjoying golden soft autumn. Then to the arena itself. It combines a modern sport hall and a spa hotel. The second part is important because we will have a pool and sauna parties every day after the event. So you can give your sore muscles some rest. And adding to convenience and excitement, you don't even need to bring your sword. Everyone will be given Eastern longsword. If you are curious about the specs, look at the screen. We are trying to create the best tournament for historical fencers. And in the rule set, we emphasize the quality of the strike and afterblow. No late touches or slaps will be counted as scoring actions. And even if you struck first, you should remember to protect yourself. Come to BOHEMA. Fight for victories, fight for experience, make friends, and have a bloody good time.
Welcome to the BOHEMA Afterblow tournament. With me is Arto Fama from Zwartenzim. My name is Giuliano Gianetti. I will be hosting this show, and Arto will be guiding us through the art of fencing.
Do my best.
Thank you. So, we had 122 fighters today, and we will be starting shortly with the women's final match. So the pools are a bit different than it's usual. Instead of one single final, we will have 4 final pools. And the first fencing is Anna Stankiewicz on the blue side and Teresa Pokrok from Golden Goat Historical Fencing on the red side.
Excellent. So this is the first final match, and the first exchange you'll see in a long series of hopefully very excellent fencing today.
So regarding the rule set, this is a Nordic rule set. Maybe could you explain a bit more about the scoring points?
Yeah, absolutely. You could hear the referee explain the exchange and award points. And
So, welcome to the finals for the women's tournament. It will be a final pool of 4 fencers who are going against round robin, 4 against each other. And I'm only going to announce fully the first matches of each fencer. In the blue corner from BOHEMA Praha, Anna Stankiewicz! Fencing in the red corner from Goat's Head Historical Fencing, Teresa Pokrok!
Someone stole my tea.
sorry. So our first match resumes. The referee, with the help of one judge, will try to explain every exchange to make sure that both fencers and hopefully you as the audience will know what is going on. For those unfamiliar with the scoring system, any hit to a deep target, so the torso and the head are considered deep target, is awarded with 2 points, and hits to shallow targets, the limbs, arms and legs, will be awarded with 1 point, whether it's a strike or a thrust. So both fighters hit each other simultaneously. That is called a double hit. That is what the ref just called. Now we get a very clear example of the afterblow, inspired on the historical rules of the Nachschlag, which means if you hit the other person but you can't keep yourself safe afterwards, then in this particular rule set that will deduct 1 point. So the choice to do that skews the system a bit to taking the initiative, because if you hit a deep target on the first hit, you will score a point no matter what happens. Anna is clearly taking the lead, leading with 4 points to 0.
So it seems that Anna is looking actively to get a parry and react with its Zwerchhau being that helicopter strike from above the head.
Yep, when performed properly, keeps the head nice and safe.
Well, Teresa Pokrok
First round goes to Anna. Both fighters will get a short break before it continues.
So on the next fight we should see Anna Solovey from BOHEMA Praha and Rachel de Bolt. Anna Solovey at some point of her career was first in women fencing, and she held this position for about 8 months in January 220. But we haven't seen her in the last year competing, mostly because of sanctions against her home country. Now she moved to Prague, where she's leading here the women's section of the BOHEMA Praha club. And so we will have a couple of chances to see her again shining. Do you know anything about Teresa?
Ready? Ready? Fence! Stop! Attack the deep target in the position. 2 points red. 2 points red. Ready? Ready? Fence!
Our second fight is underway.
Stop!
Okay, now we see a clear thrust to the hand.
2 lane. 1 point red. 1 point red. Ready? Ready? Fence! Stop! Time.
Oh, that's Rachel de Bolt, right? Oh, okay.
Ah, yes.
Attack. Parry, then repulse, deep target, 2 points blue. 2 points blue. Weaker video challenge.
So Rachel de Bolt is from Nobel Science Academy, and she came all the way from the United States to compete in this competition. We actually have people from over 24 countries today here in Prague, which is quite unprecedented. And by all means, this is the largest international HEMA tournament that we've seen in this country so far.
And one of the largest in Europe currently. I think it's only beaten by the Helsinki Open.
Yeah, it's just, it seems so. Which is quite amazing because this is just the second edition. We started this event last year as a test event, and it already at the time gathered people from 11 countries.
Connects to the arm. 1 point red. 10 after 10.
And
The
right now,
referee accepts the video challenge. The fighters are allowed a couple video challenges per match. If they disagree with the points scored and given, they can use one of these challenges and ask the referee and the judge to check the videos. There will be 2 cameras running from opposing angles to record the fight, record the exchanges, so that in case of doubt they can check that and see if they want to change their opinion.
Afterblow. Valid. 1 point red. 1 point red. Ready? Ready? Fence.
alright, so now Rachel made a clear cut to the head, which was followed by an afterblow. So that's the reason why she got 1 point, while the red fighter had only 1.
2 lane. 1 point red. 1 point red. Ready? Ready? Fence.
I was expecting
Stop! Attack. The cat. Malpare. No counter attack. 2 points red. 2 points red. Ready? Ready? Fence.
I was expecting a more dynamic fight from Anna Solovey, but I think that she seems just to try to leverage her length advantage here.
Well, the fact that this is a pool final means that you will have several fights in a row regardless, so I understand that conserving energy and playing to your strengths is a good tactic. So besides having reach, he fights very cleanly, so getting that first strike in, if that is sufficient and keeps you safe, that's a very good approach.
So there's quite a lot of fencing going on, and you probably people listening are definitely familiar with Olympic fencing. So what we're seeing today is an approach that basically should mimic unarmored medieval fencing. So the fencing that you would be seeing on the street if two unarmored gentlemen at the time would meet.
Ready? Ready? Fence.
Luckily today we can include everyone who wants to pick up a sword and train, so that is why we're seeing finals such as this.
Ready? Fence. Stop! Attack. Afterblow in tempo.
It's really nice to see that both respect the initiative and threat of the opponent and try to keep himself safe and have to fight to find an opening.
Right, so we've seen she extended herself to attack a shallow target.
So this is what the afterblow rule is made for, that if you attack an easy opening but you can't get away unscathed, then you will not be awarded any points. It is nice to see that people don't simply hit each other, but try to actively gain an advantage, fight for a better position, and then exploit any openings they can make.
So we have seen a lot of exchanges without a clear result.
Clear scoring outcome.
So the timing is over, so this is going to be the last exchange.
Attack, shallow target, afterblow, deep targets, no points given. End of the fight. Thank you.
Alright, in the next fight we will see Teresa Prorok from Goat's Head Historical Fencing from Ireland, and seems that again,
Yeah, having a 4-person pool results in 6 fights, so
Can you see the scoring on that? Yes. Good, we forgot about that. Now the excitement will be even bigger.
excellent.
excellent.
Hannes is explaining that the crowd will actually have a working scoring board visible to follow along with the fight.
Well, we're still a startup sport, right? I mean, if you see, it's quite interesting seeing that there's no even like uniform rule, like you can have like different fashions. In
Yes,
sport fencing,
slightly.
white is basically the only color you can have, right?
True. Here people have a little bit more space for self-expression.
Well, sometimes even too much. One time in a fight, I saw a person dressed like Predator, you know, like from the Alien movie.
Oh, that is very exciting.
So even that can happen, but the sport is evolving really fast. The swords you were seeing, it's actually a brand new model. It's the Eastern Longsword by Kvetun, and it's basically an attempt to make longsword safe. So all those swords can flex quite considerably, and I hope that we will be seeing also some thrusts where this will be sorely needed.
I have no doubt.
So, on the blue corner is Rachel de Bolt again, and Teresa Prorok on the red side. Wow.
We now see quite a different approach from both opponents. They are both composed in their own way, but Teresa is clearly displaying some more athletic prowess, moving about, trying to see if she can gain a reach advantage, close the distance at the right time. And it seems she did. Yes.
Yeah.
The waving of the flag by the judge indicates that there was contact seen, but it was deemed not enough quality. There's a indication in the rules that describes a strike should have a certain arc, and it should have impact with a decent part of the blade, not just a scratch with the tip. There's
Wow,
the
there's
you
the
were just
thrust,
talking about.
yeah.
Yep. Excellently placed. It's always really nice to see this type of evolution in a fight, where the fighters read each other and get to know the style of their opponent and adjust. Makes it so much more exciting to see. Excellent comeback by Rachel de Bolt. So it'll be interesting to see how things develop from here.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel does show quite an incredible sense of tempo. And what we've seen here is actually a good use of structures. She basically used her body mass to like get through the parry of the opponent by having a better
structure.
Better
Yes,
structure
yes.
of the body.
Yep. And as sources say, you should fight with your entire body, not just swing the sword blindly. So it's really nice to see that part represented in the fight.
So me coming from an Olympic fencing background, like I always see that this sport is quite more rich in things that you can do, right? There are many more approach.
Yeah.
Like what we're seeing, like from the right side, is Olympic, like spacing and changing distances. What I would see like the only tactic viable in sport fencing,
Yeah.
But here you can just go through any parry just with, you know, having good technique.
Yeah, absolutely. The long stance with the right foot leading allows for a lot of explosivity. The downside is that it's sometimes slightly harder to turn and make sure the hind foot comes forwards when making different strikes. So it's always fun to see tournaments like this where people from all over the country and all over the world, because we have people representing multiple continents here, have this literal culture clash of different styles and trying to fight under the same rule set to see who can keep their head safe the longest.
So 1 more point so 2 points to prove.
So after deliberation, they decided that the hit was clean. It was a clear strike to a deep target, and it kept Michel safe while performing. So they agree that there's a clear hit by the blue fighter, and this is the instance in which, if it's unclear what the target is, they will at least award a point. But if they cannot agree that it is definitely a clean target to a deep hit, a deep target, then they will err on the side of caution.
So Rachel is waiting patiently for Teresa to enter in the dead zone. Which is exactly what happened here. So in sport fencing you would see a scoring apparatus telling what happened. Here the judges are needed, since we try to elaborate and establish the quality of the strike to make sure the martial aspect of this sport remains active, right?
Absolutely. And also, with wrestling being allowed, it will be rather difficult to score things electronically. That is why we don't have a just a linear approach. There's the entire arena that can be used. So it's perfectly fine to try to circle your opponent and move out of the way.
I think blue's attack was parried, so I will award 1 point to red.
1 point red, last exchange.
That makes it 5-4. So at the last exchange, the fight can still be determined. Very nice to see the evolution of Rachel coming back and then Teresa scoring the point just before the last exchange. They're really feeling each other out now.
So I think Teresa is trying to lure an attack out from Rachel. Oh, and she did. Right. This
So contact was clearly seen, but it was not counted by the judges as a
quality strike.
clear hit. Yes, it's a quality strike.
Ah, nice.
That's a really beautiful ending to this exciting match.
So Teresa tried to reach with trust, being parried and counter-trusted.
Yeah,
Completely
upsets
clear
performed by
hit.
Rachel
This was beautiful.
really nice ending.
You are really, really welcome to cheer, to shout, to clap, but not in between break and the scoring is given. Remember. So after the scores have been given, woo, not before.
Hannes, our tournament manager, explaining that in order to make sure that the judges are not influenced between the scoring action and break being called, there shall be no acceleration or basically noise from the crowd to make sure
So
that...
we have two Annas now fighting against each other from the same club, HEMA Praha. Anna Solovey and Anna Stankiewicz.
Luckily the blue fencer is the one wearing the blue jacket. Slightly easier.
Alright.
This is very promising, because if the red fencer will try to use length and reach, and the blue fencer will try to stay underneath that with Terhau, and it'll
So I
just
just
show who will be able to adapt the most to the difference in.
So it's fair how is I remind that helicopter strike with the that we're seeing right now, but this came late after the first strike onto the hands. So it seems that Anna Solveig again is trying to use her reach to her advantage and not let Anna Stankovic to get close enough to deliver those powerful strikes.
Yep.
Like exactly this.
Yep. It's not simply a matter of reach, because the sword is a decent equalizer in that. It's different than an unarmed combat, for instance. So we see her display a really good sense of timing, trying to fight the moment in which the opponent is open enough to strike without being able to retaliate. Judges are currently deliberating on what exact action they saw, and this tournament is, besides the rather strict filter on quality, there is what we like. Anna Stankovic explaining after points are awarded that she got hit in the head, and therefore awarding 2 points to the opponent. Clearly taking the initiative, needing to secure the center line a bit more when going in. Be a bit of background noise while the very helpful ventilation kicks in. Keeps all the fighters cool. Again, we see the fighters feeling each other out, trying to gauge the distance. See if one of them responds to an attack.
So we've seen attack ending on a parry, being followed by a riposte. This is the strike after the parry. But let's wait for the judges to rule and confirm this action. So Anna Stankovic has had several successes earlier this year. I remember her winning the finals of Oslo Penguin Cup. With Anna Solveig, it's early to say. This is one of the first tournaments in Europe after her comeback. But so far I saw her both in the finals of basic and women, so it seems that Anna Solveig is doing great.
Yeah, having a very impressive performance here this weekend. A very decisive outcome of this fight.
So the match ended 10-1 for Anna Solveig against Anna Stankovic, and Anna Stankovic is continuing fighting right after with Sheldy Bolt. I think this will be interesting. They have like quite a similar fencing style, so maybe we will see some prolonged action.
Yes, I expect Anna Stankovic to take the initiative a bit more, and it'll be very interesting to see if Rachel's counter timing will match up against the ferocity that Anna's displaying.
Oh yeah, when Anna started hitting with that square how it's quite scary, and I can say myself having fighted against it a couple of times.
Training in the same club, you know firsthand.
Yeah. So as obvious, we can see a lot of people from HEMA Praha. I think we have 2 people in the finals, both for women and the advanced, which is quite a good sign for our club.
As the organizing club, it's it's currently run by a lot of its members, and several of the instructors are staffing the entire weekend for going to fight, which has been rumored to make this a rather safe tournament in Europe.
Right. Well, I heard that it's saved because Alexander Stankiewicz is not fighting but judging, which probably makes the exchanges quite safer. But yeah, today we haven't seen any major injury, which is quite a blessing. So we see Anna like luring the truss to keep with the Zwerchhau, which
Yeah,
is
he's able
exact.
to bind the blade and then continue going in. You see the judge indicating that the strike from the one fence was clear and the other one was deemed not sufficient quality.
But it seems that the parry wasn't successful and the hit to the head from Rachel landed,
Yeah.
which... Nope,
This is
no
why
score.
it's always helpful to have judges from multiple angles.
So no score at the end.
Yeah, it could be that the referee didn't agree with the judge.
Alright,
In case of uncertainty, it is usually deemed a unclear exchange.
so now same action but different outcome. So Anna managed to parry the strike from Rachel and continue with the riposte on the arm.
This is the conundrum we're always in whenever the fencing gets to a very maxed level and increased speed. It is also a lot more difficult to see. With our enthusiastic staff and crew, some of them haven't been on the mat for quite some time. This will provide a good challenge to.
So maybe we should also spare a couple of words about the referees. So
Absolutely. The referee is a very important role in the fight, conducting the fight and breaking it up after an exchange has happened, making sure that either when the scoring action has happened or if something deemed unsafe happens, the fight gets broken up. So all fencers have the chance to portray their skill, hopefully without getting injured.
And I wanted to say that both the referees in these fights are quite seasoned fighters. So we have Ville Valimaki on the left side, being the top 22, I think, in the world in HEMA longsword currently. And Nikos also from Finland.
Both have done an excellent job during the day judging and refereeing. We're very happy to have them here. So the referee explains that he is not entirely sure of the target area, and the response of Rochelle is to ask for the video challenge. So the ref and the judge will now check the video of the last exchange to see if they want to adjust their current scoring. So this is a very exciting part of the fight, as you can see, where two people are staring at a smartphone while everyone is waiting with tension rising to see what the actual outcome is.
This is actually one of the biggest challenges of this sport, because to make it more watchable, we would need to have smoother fighting, but this is not possible until we develop some sensoric system that will enable to automatically resolve these situations without needing for people staring at the device, right?
Potentially, yeah. I have seen that Bus, who's running the live stream here, has buttons for replaying cameras, so excited to see the live stream in hindsight and figure out how much the replays come into play there.
So I wonder if we will see a change of strategy, but no. And I'm still looking for that first strike, so she can continue with the riposte.
Yep, strike was very clean and blocking the strike. Anna is now asking for a video challenge. So again, we see the referees checking the video.
This is actually quite an interesting part of fencing. Like most of the fencers usually have some style that let's say, usual for them or they like best. Couple of actions that they know perform the best. And usually those that are able to change the tactic and change their approach to their opponent are the ones that at the end are the most successful.
Yeah,
So
you'll probably see a lot of this in Olympic sport fencing, and that's definitely the same for historical fencing, that if you're able to adapt and deal with whatever the opponent is throwing at you, it's more likely you'll come out on top. And we see that development here as Anna changes her approach a bit, comes in a little bit more cautious, manages to land a hit in the last exchange.
So we have the last fight of the finals for the women longsword, and it's going to be Anna Solovey on the blue side and Teresa Prorok on the red side. Anna Solovey so far has won all the fights, so I think that if she managed to beat Teresa, she will be the clear winner of this section of the tournament.
Yes, because Anna beat Rachel in their head-to-head match, but Rachel won both of the other fights. So if Anna does not win this fight, then there's no clear, direct winner, and it will go to tiebreakers.
I think this fight will be
Clear hit to the mask. Counter-attack invalid. 2 points blue.
right. So both these fighters seems to like lean on this active approach, athletic approach, working with distance. Yeah, we see them like spacing each other and like waiting for the right moment to get a clear hit in tempo.
First invalid. Then redoublement. Valid. Red. Afterblow. Therefore 1 point blue. Ready?
So Teresa managed to parry at the last moment the attack
Initial attack.
the initial attack and counter riposte. So she managed to get 1 point. All right.
Attack. Nothing. Redoublement. Valid. Thrust. Too short. 1 point blue.
Again, you see the referee clearly explaining the exchange there, that Anna hits and then
Are you sure there's no reach advantage?
Afterblow.
no, there's absolutely a reach advantage. It is just slightly different.
Okay, agree.
Because both are using a sword that is of equal length and they hold it with both arms. So that means if one shoulder is behind, that limits the reach of a strike.
Because to me it seems that Teresa has a bit troubles getting into an attacking distance to be able to deliver strikes, and she's getting constantly stopped with hits on the arms from longer distance.
Yeah. Which in itself is somewhat of a good sign, because if you get hit on the arms while defending the head, at least you're keeping the vital organs safe.
That's true, and that's why we have Afterblow in this tournament.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Teresa is able to change it up in time to.
To be honest, so Anna Solovey is leading 7-1. To be honest, I'm quite astonished by her discipline, because like winning 10-0 by hitting this 1 point instead of 2 onto the head requires
A lot of concentration.
exactly concentration and patience.
Yep. And like you said, if she wins this match, then she's the clear winner of the tournament, undefeated in the final pool phase. It's very nice to have this, to be able to see all the four fighters fight each other.
Lands with proper quality. 1 point blue. Time. Okay.
So again, she managed to hit like a strike from distance in the shallow zone. So all right, this
Trying to
was
feint
finally
to the left side.
Double hit. No priorities.
Sadly, Teresa recognized the moment in which there was no threat and immediately took the opening. So they ended up striking each other simultaneously. There's a bit of beating to the late to see action can be provoked.
So Anna again hit the shallow zone. This time
We're now at the
Teresa
final
made it
exchange.
in time to hit back. And this was a clear strike.
Invalid. 1 point lose. End of the fight. Thank you.
And that's the end of our
That's the end of the fight.
final round.
So we have the winner here. So Anna
Wait for the
Solovey.
official announcement.
Oh right,
Very
yes.
important.
It's very important, right?
But yes, absolutely dominating performance by Anna Solovey here.
So she definitely proved that the top position in 2020 wasn't a mistake. And maybe we will soon her see dominating the HEMA rating of women longsword and more in the next months. So maybe it's a good time to discuss a bit about how HEMA is ranked, because it's a bit different from other sports.
Yeah. Could you maybe tell our audience a bit about another sport and how we can compare it with the current system?
Yeah, of course. So, of course, like in Olympic fencing, you have a federation that makes the rules and basically issues points for performance. While HEMA currently is ranked using a community system called HEMA Rating that was actually funded by, I think it was through Kickstarter or something like that.
Yeah, it's a Swedish initiative.
Yeah. And Swedish, probably from the times of Swordfish, right?
Yeah.
So
Someone at some point thought we should keep track of all of this. So what happened is they built a system with, I'm not very confident on the exact mathematics, but an ELO
Well,
system
I
with
can
some more feedback to make sure that there's a proper calculation and weighing of all the results.
Well, actually, I know this one. So the system is
In case
based
you're
on
wondering, we are
the.
preparing an instant prize ceremony.
So the system is actually based on the Gecko algorithm, on the same ranking system as chess is based. So basically, when you have two people competing, they will be getting points by winning, and these points will be calculated against the rank of the person that you beat. So if you beat a person that is like top rank, you will advance higher in ranking than if you beat a person that is below your rank.
If the difference between the expected outcome based on the ranking is large, then the rankings you increase is higher.
Exactly. And so basically, whenever we say that a person is ranked some position in the world, we based it on this system called HEMA ratings, and it's of course is available online. Right. So we're waiting for the ceremony at this moment. We will have special prizes. I think today we have a prize of 3,000 euros for the winner of the advanced section. I'm not sure
I think
about.
it's the overall prize pool.
Yeah, it's the overall prize pool. I'm not sure about how it is
exactly sure on
distributed.
the
Yeah.
distribution of that. Yeah. But more importantly, there is a beautiful item to be won in all of the tournaments.
So
Tell us something about that.
yeah, of course. I mean, this is quite interesting because the sport at one hand is modern. We try to show it as athletic performance, but there's a lot of items that, with reference to historical, to the history of course, of the sport. So the winners will be receiving a handwritten diploma in the style of Gothic Illuminatis. Even the paint on the paintings was made using original pigments and procedures.
Yeah, it's spectacularly well done.
Of course, with it will be associated the traditional chocolate medal issued by HEMA Praha and an Eastern longsword from Kvetonare Morin.
The fourth place goes to Teresa Bro!
And shitloads of marches and discuss all the responses. Yes, you're welcome.
women's longsword competition at BOHEMA 2025 goes to Anna Salawi!
So here goes the sword and the iconic diploma.
Very well-deserved win.
The best prize ever. Handwritten.
Winning a sword is becoming quite normal right now. How many swords do you have from tournaments at home during your career?
Actually, not that many. I've few.
We'll write your names on it, so please put them to under to the table. Thank you very much. And round of applause for
Okay, thank you. You can go. The schedule is merciless. Basic control. Let's go.
It's really nice to see such a strong turnout in this ladies' tournament.
Alright, so we should be moving soon to the basic section of the tournament. The tournament was divided in women, advanced and basic. Advanced being
A tier open to fencers who had recently
won a medal.
been successful in competition of considerable size. I believe the number was approximately 40 people, to make sure that there was a clear division between people who would like to participate in their first tournament or who were able to make it here, and more seasoned longsword fighters would then meet each other.
So in the basic tournament we will see Mark Mesaros from Hungary, from the club Arns Ensis, who is currently ranked 2,285 in HEMA rating. Mike Allen from United States, from the Black Falcon School of Arms, with the current rank 2,682. And Alexander Kulik from HEMA Praha, current rank 3,269. Interestingly enough, the fourth fighters of this tournament will be again Anna Solovey, competing against these three men. By the way, this is quite curious. Like I haven't seen.
And in the red corner from Black Falcon School of Arms, Mike Allen!
Alright, so yes, so we have Anna Solovey Blue from HEMA Praha competing with Mark Mesaros on the red side.
Very impressive for Anna to just ditch the medal she just won and dive right into the next final pool.
To be honest, this is
6 fights in a row between the two pools in order to finish up the day.
To be honest, this is quite curious. I haven't seen many, if any, like martial arts having competing women against men, and successfully.
In the absence of current national tiers or weight classes, luckily the open longsword is actually the open longsword.
So anyone
who wants to compete is very welcome to do so.
Anyone who can wield the sword.
Exactly.
Afterblow, no score.
So, regarding these weight brackets, do you think it's something necessary? After the latest Sofia tournament, I heard that some people were contemplating about making one special category for Alexander Stankiewicz.
Well, I think it's a way to approach this. There's many ways in which it could be done. What I hope is that we just reach a high enough number of people competing that at some point it makes sense to divide up in more tiers, whether it's by weight category or experience or age or length or reach. as long as we grow large enough, it'll become more and more sensible to come up with a factor to make sure that people compete in the tier that is most helpful and beneficial for them at that particular moment in their career.
So we currently have 11,892 people competing in the long mixed and men's steel longsword category worldwide. This is actually right now the largest group, while we have around 2,400 fighters in rapier and dagger, 4,200 in saber, and around 3,000 in single rapier, and 3,000 in sword and bucklers. So longsword is currently definitely dominating the bracket, but it seems that the numbers are growing quite fast in the last years.
Absolutely. Do you mean the numbers overall or the number per weapon?
The number, like in total, of people competing.
Yeah. Now that the COVID pandemic is fading behind us in history, clubs are growing and more people are getting back to competing. Lots of successful parries. It's very hard to see what came through. So
Attack to the leg. Afterblow hits. No score. Ready? Ready? Defense.
So it seems that we messed up with the previous commentary. So actually is competing Alexander Kulik from the blue side with Mike Allen on the red side.
Attack. Afterblow. No point. Point blue. Point blue. Ready? Ready? Defense. Attack to the gloves. Repos. Sparring. Point blue. Point blue. Ready? Ready? Defense.
luckily, we made the same mistake as other people have done today. With Alexander and Anna having a horribly similar
Outfit.
outfit and posture overall, because we started with the second match of the pool, not the first match of the pool.
Alright, so a quick commentary about Alexander Kulik. He started competing last year in HEMA Praha and currently is ranking 1128, so he had quite a steep climb.
Again, we see a longer exchange of blows with many parry post actions landing in one fighter finding the opening. The red fencer trying to put the pressure on, give the blue fencer less space to work with. Opening himself up a little bit too much. Getting struck in the arm. Seems like this pressure is working. Might be just in time to tie. Manages to get a clean hit.
But he didn't. Alexander managed.
Managed to control the center, keep everything safe.
The final blow. So I hope that we won't get any more surprises from the judges. So now we go to the first match with Anna Solovey and Mark Mesaros fighting each other. So I'm quite curious if we will see the same tactic as before, of Anna trying to keep the distance and don't get into any big actions. So we have seen a lot of exchanges in the previous fight.
Welcome to
Yeah, many blows were exchanged
second
and
match.
properly parried. So it's always good to see people
This,
actually covering their
Welcome
head.
to the second match for the basic
this is something that you don't see
tournament.
much, for example, in Sports Saber. I think it's relevant to the weight of the weapon.
Yes, absolutely. In longsword, it is a lot more effective to actually displace and disrupt the trajectory of the opponent's weapon. So that's why it's worth investing a bit more energy into your action to actually clash.
Well, when you have like a lighter weapon, usually it's much easier to make an attack and not leaving any time for the opponent to respond. So that's why these suicidal strikes work in Olympic fencing.
We see Anna keeping things quite clean, landing the first hit of the fight, and after that, not allowing her opponent to land any strikes without getting away.
So I remind you that while in an Olympic fencing you could easily see a winning attack hitting a thumb being riposted to a clear thrust to the head, and the thrust to the head having no score. Here we would see an outcome, and that's why we have the Afterblow system, which
To make sure that just attacking a shallow target without keeping yourself safe is not rewarded.
exactly. So this tradition is like quite old and used, especially in the Nordic countries. Paradoxically, it's not really something that we would see in local Czech and Slovak tournaments, where usually the first hit approach is used with some modifications.
Yeah, and it's very hard to have a rule set that represents the interpretation that everyone has from seizing the initiative. We'll have
So another video replay.
a video challenge to see what actually went down.
So maybe we could also discuss a bit the rule sets. So do we have any like international regulations on tournaments? Rule sets?
Currently not, as far as I'm aware of. No international ones. There are national rule sets, federations that hold their championships with unified rule sets, but internationally there's still differences, which is debatably an upside and a downside. Because if you can perform well under multiple rule sets, then it shows that you're a diverse fencer, and as you say, you can adapt to your opponent and the environment.
But and we see very few people being able to do that, and most of them are actually today in this tournament. So we have seen Miro Lachtela and Zdeněk Brídl actually fighting on multiple
Multiple rule sets and performing well under different circumstances. Yeah. And it's especially nice if people from different cultures that have a specialty leaning more towards one or the other meet up. You can see who comes out on top. Very nice seizing of the initiative by Anna, and then after properly parrying, posting to the body.
Randall, attack target, afterblow 1.2. Timing, fence.
Oh, nice. So we're really seeing like a last minute parry.
Some last resort action after some very extended attacks. It's impressive to see the fighters fight with such composure still after a grueling day of fighting, with the double pull phase leading to 8 to 10 fights simply to get to the elimination tree, because the top 64 advanced, that meant a decent amount of fights before making it all the way to this final pool.
Right, again, parry riposte.
Mark trying to bait the attack, beating.
My bad, I go break.
For a nice structured strike that kept everything safe.
Fence.
Blades flying so wide that the coach had to lean back a bit to make sure he wouldn't get hit. While the judges deliberate, we can the fences preparing for the following exchange.
I think we shall not use red. We don't see the afterblow connected to blue. So 1 point red. 1 point red? Yes.
So, talking a bit about this islands of and rule sets. When we were establishing this tournament last year, we were thinking about naming it the Island Breakers, for the simple reason that we have seen that HEMA is not competing worldwide evenly, but there's like several communities that are quite isolated.
And those are generally referenced as like islands to show the island effect of a somewhat isolated community competing amongst itself and having less contact with the other islands, so to say.
Exactly, and there are just a few tournaments where this events or this is broken. I would say that Helsinki Longsword last year had people from 16 countries coming and quite a massive influx from the United States. Well, for example, here in Central Europe we have Czech and Slovakia exchanging fighters quite heavily, but not going much into these other scenes. The major scenes being North America, Nordics and Western Europe, Central Europe, Balkans, and of course Southeast Asia.
See some exciting explosive action there, with the blue fighter landing, the judge showing that he's not certain on the actual target.
I think the very strong, so it's not working, but
Uncertainty leads the ref and the judges to review the video for a moment. One of the quality rules is that if a strike lands with the strong, then it's not deemed a proper strike. So they will check whether or not the blade that clearly connected actually landed with the strike as intended.
So actually these rules were tested out on hundreds and hundreds of little pig legs that Alexander Stankiewicz cut with a sword to establish the quality of the strike, ending with the rulings that the strike should be made with the upper third part of the sword, with the edge, not with the flat, in such strength to be able to pierce the human skin. So this is the idea.
To have a strike that is representative of a martial action, to make sure that actually compare the skills that we're interested in. That's why different tournament setups.
So we see Anna Solovey beating Mark Mesaros
Winning her first match
in the
other
Bay.
longsword tournament she's competing in.
I mean, that's quite amazing. Today we counted, we already have had around, what was the number? Today we already had 623 fights on the tournament, which is quite astounding that some of the people here in the finals are still standing.
Absolutely.
And I repeat, we hadn't had any serious injury. So for the amount of fights,
That's a very good result.
That's a very good result.
7 mats fighting simultaneously. Right, so next up.
So next fight we
have Mark against
we
Alexander.
should see again Mark Mesaros against Alexander Kulik. Alexander Kulik with the blue and Mesaros with the red.
Mark really keen on beating at the blade to see if he can elicit a response.
So
Seems
basically,
he does, so he's able to take the blade and then strike to the opening. Clearly respecting the long reach of Alexander by moving back and getting his sword in between.
so Mark seems to found an opening in tempo. Tempo is a concept from Olympic fencing, but I'm not quite sure whether it translates also to HEMA.
It does, I know it mostly from rapier sources, but now it's usually just used as a measure of time, but undefined, or not like a second, but tempo used in this connotation is mostly the time it takes one action to be finished. So a step, a strike, one full action that a fencer does. And it's difficult because sometimes tempo is also used to refer to the pace of the fight. Finding a tempo could be moving inside the action of the other, and therefore it
Yeah.
looks like you're winning time.
So with rapier fencing, there's a zone where you enter in such a distance that when you strike, the opponent doesn't have time to make a reaction and to parry. So and this is called like tempo. But I think with the longsword is a bit different because we have like three distances, right? The vor, the nach, and the.
The Vorenach indicating who has the initiative, so the distance are sometimes referred to as the Zuvechten and the Krieg in the German system, for instance.
Attack to the head, Malpare, 2 points left. 2 points left. Ready, fence.
Right, yeah.
So, because the phases of the fight differ and melt into one another, it's very interesting to see who is better at what particular phase or distance. You see a lot of action here, the so-called onset, the longer distance.
Attack, parry, reinforce, afterblow.
And of course the distance dictates what you can do. So from longer distance you would usually have, let's say, less destructive cuts to shallow parts of the body because you can reach only hands, etc. While the most destructive gets from
Up close.
Up close.
The fight gets decided by a thrust to something vital. So we now see both fighters trying to fight their way in order to create that moment in which they have enough of a tempo on their opponent to land a strike and get away cleanly.
Double hit.
They have the same idea. Both try to go through the center to keep themselves safe, but end up glancing off and hitting each other.
Well, and of course,
A lot of explosive and athletic action here.
oh, nice.
Seems like the judge awarded the red fighter a hit to a deep target. So now, even with this afterblow rule in place, because of hitting the deeper target, only 1 point gets negated and red scores.
So they're trying to hit the sword to create an opening, which happened.
Attack hits, shallow panic, afterblow hits, no score. Ready, fence.
So red is clearly taking the lead now. See if they change it up.
Attack to the shallow
Trying a
panic,
different angle.
afterblow hits, no score.
Very nice to see that development.
Ready, fence. Continue.
So the score right now
Double hit, look, shallow target.
is 5-1,
Time.
which seems like quite a difference, but it's just 2 clean strikes to the head.
Yes, absolutely. So as the video gets reviewed, you should be able to get the finalized score on this exchange.
Alright, so we were discussing distances. There's one distance that we haven't seen so far, the creek.
We've seen a bit of things happening in Krieg. It's the distance where you no longer need to step. It's specifically the wrestling that hasn't really occurred. As we're fighting on mats, it's allowed to wrestle and even have a controlled takedown of the opponent. There's been some nice wrestling actions portrayed in the in the tournament throughout the day. So maybe we will see something, but as wrestling gets takes up a lot more energy, I can see how fencers want to conserve their energy for the 3 pull face fights and try to score on a somewhat larger distance.
Like, to be honest, I've been subject to this pool system last year first time, and getting through the whole tournament for the final and then having other 4 fights to do instead of 1, it's it's quite exhausting.
Yeah, I must say I rather like this approach. It provides you a lot of fights in the single tournament, and it does show who has the stamina and concentration, like the mental focus to maintain that long enough. The final exchange starting at 6-3. Looks like red has all won. Hear some heavy breathing from the red fencer.
Yeah, exactly.
Fighting athletic like this the entire day takes its toll.
I think this is a bit different if we compare it to... This is a bit different if compared to like duels of the historic times, because even though we're trying to replicate like the martial art, I mean, the sport is quite different, because usually it was one thrust, one action that decided the whole outcome.
Absolutely.
So we even had all these secret moves, because people would be probably able to surprise someone with something that they'd never seen and win it. Even that move would be today suboptimal in terms of like sport, right?
Yeah, the fact that you are protected makes it a rather different experience, because now you can risk something, because if you mess up, then you will lose a point instead of lose an eye.
or a limb, yeah.
I think that we can safely say that every rule set tries to make sure that we create an environment in which fighters can safely recreate aspects of historical fencing. So the aspect that we clearly want to see on this particular day and in this tournament is keeping your head and body safe. So keeping everything that is vital and could potentially end the fight if struck there. Keep that safe from harm. To make sure that you would survive a fight. Every exchange is something you could see as a duel, so there's a certain sense of simulation, but if a proper martial act, out all the blood.
So maybe it's time also to present the fighters. So we have Anna Solovey blue in the blue corner against Mike Allen from Black Falcon School of Arms in the right corner.
Yeah.
So Anna Solovey is leading with 2 points from the first exchange. And right now we have the referees checking the video replay to find out what happened in the last one.
I'm seeing some eyebrows raised in excitement, so curious to find out if that's to confirm the points given or dispute them.
Yes, the challenge is accepted. There is actually I think the S of red. I thought it was red glove from
Blue asked for a video challenge and got awarded the points, so this allows Anna a 4-point lead now. See Mike trying to close the distance safely. He's able to close the distance and reach the hands, but not without getting away. Explosive action from Anna, reaching for the head, but properly parried, and Mike is able to take advantage of that.
So we see Mark Allen changing guards. This one in particular with the sword on the shoulder.
Yep. he's clearly changing it up to see if he can break what Anna's currently doing. If she's allowed to play her game again and again, then that would be bad news for him.
Initial cutting of red, not enough quality, then some action in the blue, unsure about target area, 1.2. By blue, hiding, fence.
So,
Mike clearly closing the distance rather fast, but only being able to reach with the tip. His strike is not deemed sufficient quality.
but to be honest, Anna has a fantastic sense of distance. Like
Absolutely.
she's hitting like if you anytime he gives a little opening,
He
she's
will
there.
take the opening.
Yeah, again. Like I was expecting the tournament rewarding head and deep targets more than shallow targets to see more strike on these, but she's methodically chopping his limbs off.
Yes. And as you said before, by being very disciplined and very controlled, she's able to take advantage of that. Because the tekka is the reference to light strikes to head and body. This is something that could open up a fighter, because the moment you strike for a shallow target and that gets defended, something else has to open up. But if the attacked fighter never manages to defend it, we don't actually get to the part where she has to strike to the head.
It's true. And that's working the distance. So making an action from
From the larger distance, yes, because now we see exactly that. She initiates the attack, by parries, they exchange blows, and the strike lands way closer to the head now.
So Anna Solovey won the match and actually should continue straight away against Alexander Kulik. I think we'll have quite trouble distinguishing who is in which corner.
Yes, this is probably the most challenging match to debate. So I'm very glad that they have a blue and red marker, because, as we said, their silhouette is remarkably similar.
Well, I found
I've heard a rumor that even one of the partners wasn't sure for a moment who was who.
unfortunately Alexander Kulik has a Hello Kitty match on his patch on his uniform.
Excellent. And
So-
slightly different colored socks. So
Oh,
we'll be looking for the minutiae in order to distinguish them. So just to make sure everyone is clear on this, Anna is fighting in the red and Alexander is fighting in the blue corner. Not only matching silhouettes, but also matching schools, because both are training at HEMA Prague currently. It's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top in this match.
And they
It's
have
favoring the.
and they have
the right
even a
leading.
very similar style.
Yes.
So Alexander found the distance, hit the hand, safely returned.
Simultaneous hit in the same zone. No score.
So we have a mirror match.
Yes. If ever there was a mirror match, this is it.
Attack to the gloves. Afterblow parry. Point red.
Yes, we will have to wait for the next pool phase to have the Miro match.
So we actually saw previously like quite an interesting action. That slowly rising attack. It's actually quite hard to parry because you don't know the exact moment when you should do it with the action.
Oh, both fighters.
I have 200 euros and I need to
Very careful before moving in.
So mirror match with mirror score. Currently the points are 2-2.
Yeah, it's a very evenly matched fight.
Right, so Anna Silva is taking the lead.
I think we're getting a... Yeah. Alexander is asking for a video review to see if the current outcome of the score for Anna is stands after the video review. The upside of doing video reviews and challenges like this is that it provides an outlet for the frustration of the fighters, because if you are somewhat misjudged and it can be corrected, then at least now you get a second chance to see if the judges still agree after reviewing the video. And
so Alexander managed to hit the mask, but with the flat side of the sword, so it's not being counted.
yes, the hit clearly connected, so that was seen, but the quality was discounted, so the scoring stands.
So it's quite interesting how the dynamic of the fight changed.
Alexander managed to just get through the defense of Anna and closes in. Still very evenly matched.
But still he's the one that needs to take the initiative.
Yeah.
So we have...
And he does, manages to score another point, tying at 4 points each.
So
Holding the blade quite horizontally outstretched. See, both fighters very observant, responding to every tiny move their opponent makes.
okay. So Alexander managed to lure that attack from Anna and get a clear parry riposte. Let's see what the judges will say on this one. So okay. So now Anna needs to break the guard, and she did. Oh, this was such a cheap hit.
But both of them are able to just find the little chinks in the armor of their opponent and use whatever opening they can get their sword on.
Okay, well this was clear. So now Anna gave Alexander Kulik his own medicine.
Absolutely, baiting out the attack. So
On the
this
parry
match will be
riposte.
decided in this final exchange now. Still gauging the distance very precisely. Seeing if they can...
Nice.
Making it a tied match at 6. So it's an absolute mirror match in all regards. Beautiful.
All right. So we're going toward the last match with Mike Allen from Black Falcon School of Arms against Mark Mesaros from Raider. So I see also all the finalists are already gathered here, following up shortly to
For the
this-
advanced tier.
for the advanced tier. Right, so we have Mark Mesaros in blue, or in the blue corner, against Mike Allen, red, from the Black Falcon School.
Yeah. Mark checking his blade and deciding that it's a little too curved for his taste. His blades have been taking up quite the punishment over 2 days and holding up quite well.
So Mark Allen came all the way from the United States just to fence here in Prague.
Yeah. Clearly worth the trip. Nice recovery.
Nice. So we have seen quite a couple exchanges, but at the end seemed that Mike Allen managed to slip past the parry and hit the head.
Oh. Some very different action from the previous match. Both fighters engaging and fighting for the center line. So this is where the fight starts at the two fraction, but they close in and end up hitting each other on a much shorter range instead of that very end of the reach. Nice exchange of blows there with a hit at the end.
So the later French tradition of sport, usually fencing.
Oof.
Oh,
Not a throw, but Mike nicely rolling to break his fall.
so the modern fencing tradition, like for example in Olympic épée or fleuret, usually plays around the concept of parry riposte, that you should always first parry and then do the offensive action. As you can see here,
That is not required for longsword fighting because especially in the German system, it's very clearly described that attack is the best way to defend.
and that's actually what we've been seeing this fight, because
Absolutely.
both fighters are attacking with the sword above their head.
They're trying to
And-
break the line of the opponent's attack while closing in. So this shows who's able to capitalize better on that action.
Like now.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Instead of having to withdraw, parry, and riposte, Red is able to break the line while Blue comes in and is able to take the head.
striking through the attack.
Nice.
Okay.
That was a beautiful thrust from Mike, tying the score at 6. So again, a fight with a lot of development and adaptation of style. We have So we see a lot of action here. Explosive, but in a different way. Instead of covering a lot of ground with one step, we see multiple strikes and movements being chained together to find the opening while staying safe. Last exchange is 7-5. See if Mike can still come back. Getting struck on the way in.
So he managed to sneak in the last hit, winning the match.
Some beautiful fencing from both participants here.
So it seems that the draw with Alexander Kulik will cost Anna this finals. Or not. Oh. No, she's actually...
I think she's in the lead without,
She's in the
because she's
lead.
not losing any, so she might win both the ladies and the open longsword here.
So Mark Messaros
Very
has won
impressive.
too. Yeah, that's wow, and two finals right in a row.
I do want to find out the actual amount of matches she fought today, because this is a ridiculous amount of fights. It's well over 20 fights.
Wow. And to be honest, I think that she even looks fresher than all these boys here. Look at her.
Clearly very well conditioned.
Yeah.
Are we ready with the prizes, Sasha? Okay, quick and
So here we have the finalist of the beginners section of the tournament. Michael having the 4th place.
My precious schedule.
Chocolate medal, because that's what we're fighting for. Epic diploma where you write. And the large for the more sponsor.
The 3rd place goes to Alexander Kuhn. The 2nd place to Marcus Alons. And the 1st place for the basic longsword tournament at BOHEMA 2025 goes to Anders Ulrich.
So this is quite incredible. Here we have Anna receiving her 2nd iconic diploma and her 2nd sword. Unfortunately, we're on short stock with these in the club, so I bet she will find a good use to them.
And one more round of applause for winners.
All right, and so here we move to the most prestigious part of the tournament, to the advanced section. I remind you that we are watching BOHEMA the Afterblow. We have 122 fighters competing today, which makes it the biggest tournament in Czech Republic currently, since Pardubitsky match had 104 fighters and Bratislava Fact 121. So the larger is only Helsinki Longsword Open this year with 182 fighters. We have people for 24 countries visiting Prague. And maybe we should also talk a bit about the finalists. So we have Zdeněk Brídl, Václav Sokol, Miro Lachtela and Adam Procházka. Zdeněk Brídl being probably the most athletic of the lot, coming from an Olympic fencing background in Flaret, and I can promise that today we will see some lightning fast action. Zdeněk Brídl is 6th on ranking. Miro Lachtela from Finland is 4th on HEMA ranking. What is quite interesting is that many of these people are actually coming from different sport background. So right now on the mat we see in the red corner Václav Sokol, and on the blue corner Adam Procházka.
Dancing in the blue corner of BOHEMA Prague, Adam Procházka. Dancing in the red corner of SHS Krikavci, Václav Sokol.
Having started out with 33 fencers in the advanced tier, we're now down to the final 4. And it's interesting that the people who placed the first 4 after the double pool phase are also the ones we're now seeing represented in the finals. So they made their way all the way through the elimination tree.
So we have
The action has started with the first point scored by Adam.
Adam Prochaska. So Václav Sokol is actually. Oh my God.
Oh,
Well, this is brutal.
well, Václav loses his balance when retreating. Luckily, Adam pulled his blade to make sure there was no strike to an undefending opponent.
So this is quite a more balanced fight that I was expecting. Václav Sokol is 44th on HEMA rating, and he's last year Czech Republic champion. While Adam Prochaska comes from the 1092 place on HEMA rating, not winning any tournament this year. But probably.
I think he actually won Encuentro in Mexico this February.
Oh, really?
Yes, as far as I heard, he won gold in longsword there.
Well, that's a shame that I don't know that being from his club. But you train together, right?
Yes, we spent some time together training in Prague and in the Netherlands. So, although he has a different sporting background in technical diving, he's very driven and apparently can compete well even with the current Czech champion.
Yeah, well, Václav Sokol actually comes from an Aikido background, which he shares with Miro Lahtela, and started fencing with Bohurt, then Bohurt being that armored sport where people are hitting each other with MMA style.
You see some beautiful control action in wrestling now, where Václav favors the long distance game with one-handed thrusts to see contact.
So here we see really a clash of schools.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very different approach.
So because Adam Prochaska is trained in HEMA Praha, where we actually, this is the rule set that is domestic to us.
Yeah, it's a home turf.
While Václav Sokol usually competes on the Czech scene, where usually the first touch is the one that is sufficient to score a hit.
Yeah, more of a system that tries to use the right-of-way rule, similar to Olympics fencing.
Yeah, and he, to be honest, I suspect he has like longer hands than other humans, at least by 5 centimeters, because he has one of the longest reaches I ever experienced. All right, so we had some action. Probably it hurt a bit. Here we saw the one-handed. Okay, this was.
They've figured out each other's reach, but neither of them can get away safely, striking each other's gloves.
Well, it's nice to see two people motivated on winning. I'm not sure about the quality of the first strike. Okay, so Adam call on that.
He's now asking for the video replay, for which the established semaphore now seems to be to draw a smartphone with your fingers.
Right, I think it was a bit of a tactical step as well, because both needed a bit to calm down and get back their composure.
So the score remains. It's 4-3. It's a very tight match. Oof.
Wow.
Václav going all out to maximize his reach, moving down. Luckily able to keep his head safe.
It seems that Prochaska is dominating with strength, but
not using brutal force, but simply strong structure, where Václav is willing to sacrifice a bit of structure to gain more reach. And, well, if that opens up the opponent and provides you with the necessary hit, then that can clearly get you to the championship. So it seems like both are using a different style, but Václav is more specialized in the long distance game, and Adam tries to adapt the best he can. So after some deliberation, we now get the score.
All right, so
Ties the score
we
at
have a
4
draw.
each. Oh, last
And sudden
exchange.
dot, so this is going to be full of emotions. So
Nice and exciting tight match
oh
to end the fight
no,
with.
such a lame strike. So Václav Sokol performed his dreaded leg strike.
Yes. And that makes it a
Draw.
draw.
So Adam Procházka managed to strike the afterblow to the head, nullifying
Yes.
the initial strike.
Geisel action from Václav.
Right, so I'm quite curious about this one because definitely it wasn't a clear exchange.
Yes, we saw what happened. It's now up to the judges to decide whether or not they deem it of sufficient quality. And this is very hard. This is why this is still a subjective sport.
So
They actually changed their opinion. So that makes the match conclude at 5-4.
so
This being a very exciting opening match for our advanced pool.
Adam should continue fighting right away. I wonder if they will give him a bit time to rest because this was quite like physically demanding, I would say. So against him, yeah. So they're giving him a bit of rest. So preparing in the blue side is Zdeněk Brídl from Brněnští Fekteři. He actually founded the club and currently is one of the most successful Czech clubs in longsword. Zdeněk Brídl has quite a career. This year I think he won Bratislava Fecht. Let's see. Quarters finals. Yes, he won Bratislava Fecht against Mikolaj Kolodej, while losing to Mikolaj Kolodej at Blackhorn Cup in Poland. Mikolaj Kolodej actually was supposed to be also on this tournament, but he didn't make it on the at last notice.
Very sad.
I'm sorry?
Very sad that he couldn't make it because
because that would be a
that would be
dream composition. We already have like around half of the top 20 here present in Prague, but we dearly miss a couple of people. Miro Lachtela said that if Stefan Cheney and Ante Kolbritsky would be here, that would be his like dream final match.
yes.
So I think
See some swords being exchanged in order to make sure that both have a blade that is up to the task.
So I think we should see right now really different schools. We will have structure and power from HIMA Praha. Against a very, very athletic style of fencing with Zdeněk Brídl. So Adam Procházka, before going to the fight, told me that actually Zdeněk manages to outreach him with his attacks, even being considerably smaller. So we see
His timing and distance game is very, very good.
So we see already like Zdeněk provoking Adam and testing also his reaction. So he's trying to understand like what Adam's game is and
Having a
finding an
very
opening.
deep and low stance indeed.
Judge, I believe the first strike was on the sword, second strike on the head. I did not see an afterblow, so I'm going to award 2 points red.
2 points red.
starting the match with some up-close action. Currently in the favor of Adam.
Adam is keeping his distance, so he knows that his legs are threatened by 100 strikes. Oh, here we saw it.
Yeah. Probing and trying to see if he can get inside the defense that Adam is posing.
Oh, we saw
Yes.
a nice thrust
Yes.
in tempo, like Adam didn't had any time to react.
Yeah, clearly reading his opponent very well. Beautifully timed thrust.
Oh, they awarded
see
him
the-
just 1 point.
Yes, because there was a thrust and there was an afterblow named by Villa, so now they will check whether or not that was in tempo or that the blue fighter actually managed to retract his leg in time.
So a moment of needed rest for the fighters.
All of them maintaining their composure and staying nice and calm.
Challenge not accepted. Step plan at the same time as the thrust and afterblow is in tempo. 1 point.
So
Right,
Adam
so-
managed to throw in the afterblow and lessen the thrust.
Yes.
Alright, well this was clear.
After having read everything in the previous exchanges, the blue fencer now ups the pace and ups the pressure.
Break! Break!
With,
Ensure quality. Why no quality?
with a very precise action to the glove of the red fighter. But
But deemed with
The
no quality since
ref explains that the quality is debatable.
so
They will now check with the video.
So I remind the idea of quality being that the strike needs to be executed with the last third of the blade to be valid, not with the very tip. Tested on multiple pig legs by Alexander Stankiewicz.
To check whether or not something would have a sufficient impact, and still getting cut on the hand with a sharp blade, even if it's just a tip, can be devastating. So this is where we try to err on the side of caution, looking for very clear actions.
Like this.
Yes. Now you can see the blade literally being obstructed by the gear. So
I think we see that that Zdeněk performed his reading of the opponent and now he's capitalizing on tempo.
yeah,
Alexander-
beautifully changing up his game from the very onset and long reach to all of a sudden jumping in under the cover of his left terhau to reach a deeper target and staying safe while doing so.
I think we can see that
Very nice control there.
that Adam is a bit unsure of what to do, so he's also reacting to Zdeněk's attacks.
Trying to stay safe on the first action and then following up from there.
Deep target for red with afterblow. 1 point red. 1 point red.
Looked like he was running into the blade, but it might have been the flat connecting and then bending. Both fighters covering an amazing amount of distance. At least every bit of the mat will be used like this. Again, contact seen, but
So we see
explained why the quality was deemed insufficient. Diving underneath the right overhau of Adam, Zdeněk manages to strike his lower shin, upper ankle. This is what Adam meant with being outreached. Again, closing in with that left terhau to stay safe.
Equal target. No points.
Neither of them really controls the center line. So they just hit each other. Very exciting match. Looking forward to seeing the rest of this this final pool unfold.
Right, so we have Václav Sokol and Miro Lachtela jumping in, both having an Aikido background, both coming from different martial contact sports. This will
Having
be
a
quite
slightly different
interesting.
approach.
Yeah, Miro Lachtela is of course home to the Nordic scene, having won Helsinki Longsword quite I think more than a few times, right?
I'm not certain, but he's won a lot of tournaments in the last time. So I think that once we lose track of which tournaments the fighter won, that speaks for itself.
Well, actually, I was counting it. Actually, I was counting it, and last year Miro Lachtela won most gold medals with all weapons. In 2023, he won 9 medals in longsword and sword and buckler.
Very impressive career.
While in 2024, he won 5 gold medals with longsword.
We see Václav again probing at the longer distance and Miro closing in to stay safe.
Yeah, Miro is evidently looking for the blade so he can close in and
Stay safe.
stay safe.
Punishing the long but exposed attack that Václav poses when he's opening himself up. Because if the one-handed action lands or doesn't land, it's harder afterwards to keep yourself safe. Under a rule set that would favor the first touch, that long action is a very useful tactic, but in a system that has a scoring second action like most of the Nordic rule sets, or the negating afterblow action like this, it is less favorable to just hit, because Miro's experience allows him to make sure Václav has a hard time getting away with it.
But it seems that both opponents are having like hard time like finding like a right style to deal with the other one.
Absolutely, because we're seeing some of the world's top fencers here, so it's absolutely reasonable that both of them find it hard to adapt and deal with whatever the opponent is throwing at them. I hope we'll be able to see another match in which things change a little bit over the course of it. They try to adapt and alter their game slightly in order to best the opponent.
Yeah, like right now they're clashing a lot. I would expect more reading from both sides, the same as Zdeněk Bridl has done to Adam Procházka. Lachtela trying to close in. This was probably flat.
That looks like the action was parried afterwards, so yeah.
I mean, Václav is making like a tremendous work of like stopping Miro's attack right in the beginning before he can get close.
Yeah.
So here what we saw.
Any one-handed action on the long distance will only be able to score 1 point, so even while it hits the body, the deeper target, it can only score 1 point. So if the afterblow lands, then the longer one-handed actions are nullified completely.
Which makes, of course, Václav Sokol at a disadvantage, because
Miro is very used to fighting in both the first action and the tempo that follows it.
So both fighters seems contemplating a bit. So let's see if we see any change in strategy. Like Miro is very aggressive, like he's putting a lot of pressure to Václav, not letting him take even like a meter from the distance on the tatami.
pressuring the opponent is possibly a very good strategy here to make sure that Václav doesn't have the time to properly measure and take his moment to outreach him. The call stands, so it remains 2-1. You see him fighting to the very end of the mat, but no one leaving the ring. The ring out only happens if both feet of a fighter leave the mat. Tying the match at 2. Miro is now keeping the pressure up. Oh, exploiting a one-handed thrust of his own, but getting punished for it by Václav. So
So it seems that
seems like the tables are turned on him.
Miro made a tactical mistake, missing that attack, and left Václav to make the counter-attack.
Yeah. Ooh.
Series of fires in the post. Cut to the torso from the blue after blow parry. 2 points blue.
So again, tying at 4.
One challenge or 2? My apologies. I miscounted challenge.
So we will check the video to see
I wouldn't.
where the action actually landed.
I wouldn't want to be the referee of this match.
No, this is a very difficult match to judge.
So we have like a lot of simultaneous and unclear actions. Not typical stuff by the book. And to be honest, Václav has a really specific style.
Yeah, I would say he's quite specialized. Right, the call stands, so the match is tied at 4 each.
So this is gonna be
Milo
interesting.
circling to the left to finish up the game, nicely binding the opponent up. And again, we have a video call.
Well, as this match is quite tight, it's not unexpected that both fencers are fighting for every point.
Yep, and using up whatever resource they have to make sure everything is counted as well as it could be.
So you also fight it in the main tournament today, right? How would you?
Well, this weekend, yeah, I
Yeah.
participated in the advanced longsword.
How would you say was the quality of judging and overall safety in the tournament?
I was really happy with it. The judging was nice and crisp. There's no video reviews in the first segment, so in the pool phase, there's just the referee and the judging. And in my experience, it was very, very clear and decisive. And I like that the staff says mistakes will be made. We know that. We just hope that it is equal mistakes to all. And by providing everyone with a lot of fights, the chances of it evening out over time increase.
So Miro Lahtela in the meanwhile took the lead. And Václav Sokol now is trying to pressure and
manages to land.
So we have the fight drawing out again.
Very, very even.
Oh,
With some contact there, strike and afterblow. So no score. Very tight match. Not giving an inch.
yeah, Miro is
Miro
definitely
keeps circling to the
punishing
left.
every attack with the Afterblow.
Undercut his arms from the red after blow parry. 1 point red. 1 point red. Fence.
Miro checking the time to see how much is left. Oh,
Okay.
manages to fight his way in and hit a deep
So,
target.
Nice fight nice save in the last moment.
Is clearly shows his experience to simply check what the score is, what the time is, and what kind of action he needs to do.
So here we saw it.
Strike from the red to the arms. Afterblow from the blue. No score. Last exchange. Fence.
Final exchange. It can still go
So
either
now's
way.
the last chance of. Oh,
Oof.
well,
Lots
this was a dramatic fight.
1 point red.
Being able to tie it up.
Alright, so probably this final will be decided in the fight against Zdeněk Bridl and Miro Lahtela, because if whoever wins,
I want to remind
it will
everybody,
either lead to a situation of Zdeněk Bridl having a cleaner.
points are given.
Oh,
Then cheer. Halt, please.
anyway, this draw is quite significant. Right, so the current status is that Václav Sokol has won 1 fight, Zdeněk Bridl 1 fight, and Miro Lahtela has 1 draw with Václav Sokol. The next fight should be Miro Lahtela against Adam Procházka. We will see 2 fighters trained in the Nordic Afterblow school, so we should see, I would say, a more balanced fight that we saw.
Probably a different match to what we just witnessed. Absolutely. Miro will have a short break and then resume his fighting. So 3 down, 3 more to go. The upside, I think, of having a final pool fight versus multiple rounds finals is that you get to see more fights, and specifically different fights. Because now we see all four competitors interact instead of just the semi-finalists and the finalists. Sometimes the most exciting matchup already happened in the semi-finals, and now we basically see all of those together. It's a better indication of who is able to perform the best in the overall experience against the entire field. Miro closing the distance very quickly there.
Yeah,
Both of them
just
changing lines to
contemplating
how.
if the first strike to the head actually managed to score. It was, I think, quite shallow. Okay, the judges ruled that the first attack was flat, and everything after happened after the stop. Huh. So Miro closed the distance, making a switch strike to the hand and pairing the riposte. Here we see actually the training. He's evidently able to do this.
Yeah, this is
Covering
where the
himself
tournament experience shows
after the strike.
being able to deal with Adam's strong structure or moving in.
So we have an incredible number of 119 people following this stream and listening to our chat ring.
Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you
Yes,
find this entertaining.
Exactly.
We'll do our best to not distract too much from all the sword action.
We will be happy to answer your questions if you have any in the comments.
So there seems to be a small correction on the actual points received. The blue fencer asked for a video challenge in order to see what is going on. It's a very interesting mix between historical sword fighting and modern technology. Trying to provide you a proper insight in what is going on here while we attempt to display the techniques.
All right, so we have Borislav Kruvstev having in the stream. Hi Bobo, nice to have you here.
And action resumes. See both of them very tense.
Afterblow hits 1.2. Ready?
So again, we'll see the video challenge. As we're closing into 10 o'clock here, it's been a long day and quite challenging for the fighters to keep their concentration. Luckily, the advanced pool has the upside of having fought most of their tournament yesterday, so they had most of their day to recover. I know that one of the fencers took a trip to the sauna to make sure that the bruises and the swellings from yesterday were taken care of.
What was the score? 1 blue. Challenge is accepted. There was no exchange attack. Your attack is flat. Repose double.
So we see the hits being negated, so there's no score. Score remains 3-0 in favor of Miro. Both feeling each other out.
Well, this will be interesting. So we've seen a series of exchanges, many ending on the parry. Not sure whether they managed to get through.
Yeah, the blades bounced off each other and did connect to gear, but I couldn't see what actually was hit. Especially with the fighters turning like this, sometimes the angle is completely invisible.
So let's see the rules of the judging. Okay, so it seems that the first attack actually...
It seems like Adam is indicating that he got struck in the head, so he's awarding his opponent more points. Very glad to see good sportsmanship here, even in the finals.
Alright, seems that this time Adam's structure was well enough.
Yeah, both of them staying a distance until they want to moving in at the same time.
Moving the grappling, there is a back to the deep target by the blue fencer and Afterblow from the red fencer. 1 blue.
So Adam indeed manages to land a hit on a deep target, but doesn't get out completely safe.
Okay, we definitely heard the hit here.
Agreed. Double hit.
Double hit for both fencers.
Ready. Fence.
Both taking even more initiative than at the start of the fight. It's a nice change of pace. And at this pace it's very difficult to see, so you see the judges deliberating shortly again to make sure that they actually provide the right call to the best of their capabilities.
Series of final repos. Shallow attack, hits. Afterblow, hits. No score. Ready.
Score remains 5-1.
So we see a series of strikes when
Miro dives in deeper with the left Zerhao. Hits the judge, checks whether or not he's hit, so Miro also shows great sportsmanship.
so it doesn't look good for Adam in this fight. But
longer exchange of blows there, with the first three being buried in midair. Both of them trying to fight for initiative and a favorable position before pushing through.
All right, so I think we
It's
saw
some
a
inside
clear
commentary
hit
from
here.
Miro, being surprised by Adam's new approach. Starting a left ox. Very nice to see both fighters change it up and using a different approach.
So we have
Making the difference even more. So we have a final exchange with the score standing at 8-1.
Adam is evidently trying something different just to see whether it works, and he was successful with the change of approach.
Yes. Miro going from his safe position into a more exciting Einhorn. And because of the finals, every little point counts, because we don't know the outcome of all the matches. So although this match is decided, the points being scored even in this final exchange can be helpful tiebreakers in the end.
With priority of deep target to the blue fence. One blue.
That's two more to go.
Yeah, so Miro Lahtila has the luxury of getting a break, while we'll see Zdeněk Bridl and Václav Sokol. So, and this is going to be basically opposite fight, since both fencers comes from the same BOHEMA scene, fighting primarily on first hit, and
It should be very interesting to see how that matches up. We've seen the clash of different styles and styles that both
I think
both
we're-
fighters
I
that are
think
used to a more Nordic rule set.
I think we
have
will
used.
see a lot of one-handed strikes and probably some sneaky strikes on the legs and other extremities.
Yes. Curious to see if one of them actually manages to close in all the way for the deep target, like Zdeněk did using the left Verhau.
Well, so here it is. Here we get the first leg strike, preceded by one-handed thrust to the leg. Right, so we have.
It looks like they indicate there's some contact to the mask there. So the video challenge will tell us whether or not it was captured. Seems like the fighters are deliberating as well, while the judges are figuring out what they want to do with the score.
So I remind that we have two best Czech fencers currently on the scene. Zdeněk Bridl being fourth on the HEMA ratings, and no, sixth. I'm sorry. Zdeněk Bridl being sixth, and Václav Sokol 44th. We should have had also Pavel Dostal, but unfortunately he left for his wedding trip, which we understand.
Sometimes life gets in the way.
Exactly. Well, he's actually having a tournament there since his spouse also does HEMA. So, but it's Italy, not Prague. So it seems that we really have a mirror match here. Again.
And in a matter of styles, absolutely. Red fencer recovering really well after the one-handed action.
Both keeping long distance and trying to sneak in that one attack. I think I saw a thrust, but probably not quality.
And they're definitely at the edge of each other's reach and trying to just outtime the other person. Yes,
Oh,
there
cool.
we see the red fencer changing it up, and after initiating the thrust to the center, when the blue fighter responds immediately, switching to the left Verhau. landing on a deeper target.
So both fighters raging the distance and try to find the right moment to get in.
First in attack, blue with the shallow target. Afterblow from the red. No score. Thank you very much.
And again, we see excellent behavior. And the red fence is saying that he didn't get hit on a shallow target, but actually got hit on the head. So it's very nice to see that even in these very tight final fights, the fighters are willing to acknowledge getting scored against. Showing a lot of respect to their peers. Beautiful thrust.
Beautiful. Just with the feint, right? So we
Yes, initiating and then as soon as the response happened, changing through underneath, and landing in the chest of the blue fighter.
All right, so this is
Being
really
tied at 2 points, last exchange. Can now determine this fight.
both need to score this point and win. Oh no, okay, no quality.
I saw the sword went to the protector of the elbow, so I need to look a video to confirm if it's true or not. Preliminary 1 point to blue, but I see a video because it's crucial exchange. Video.
So this is it really comes from the tables. Like Bridle is definitely like a favorite of this final, and this point would probably make Miro Lahtela in a better position.
It's all to fight for still.
Yeah, I mean, and nothing is decided yet.
So that makes it even better that our final fight of the day will be between.
Last exchange, 1 point goes to blue for the thrust to the elbow. Winner blue.
Wow, that makes it very exciting.
So currently, Václav Sokol has 2 wins and 1 draw, and Zdeněk Bridl has 1 win and 1 loss, putting him out of the finals.
Yes.
So, but anyway, it's gonna be decisive, the match between Miro and Zdeněk. If Miro wins, then it will be decided by points.
Yes, which makes it interesting because Miro and Václav were the draw.
Actually, the highest rated fences of the whole tournament.
Yes, now we have Zdeněk, you have 1 minute. Excellent, let's go.
So this is probably like the most anticipated match of
The entire
season.
tournament now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Two fences very active in the current scene,
And actually being professional. Like Miro Lahtela told me that he trains 30 hours per week in multiple disciplines. So that's quite explains how come he can cope with with so many fights. And Zdeněk Bridl has a similar schedule, being also like a professional instructor.
yeah.
So as the judges, we see Matvey Sakharov and Alexander Stankiewicz from BOHEMA Praha, both elite instructors. All right.
And they immediately start off with the action. Miro putting on the pressure, taking the center of the arena, landing a hit on the shallow target. And
Yeah, but Miro
landing a
managed
deeper
to,
target hit even.
to hit the deeper target.
Yes.
So
And he
Counter-attack on preparation and arm, no quality response. 1 point blue.
So we use the video to check where the strike actually lands. At this speed, it's very hard to determine what the action actually is. Excellent. The thrust was indeed in tempo and connected. So very glad to see that rectified.
I'm afraid that if we were hoping for more prolonged exchanges and see some action, this is going to be like really, really fast.
Yes. This
just-
will be over in the blink of an eye.
I will my preliminary decision. Attack from red with flash in the head. Response, but I will look video repeat by myself.
So neither fighter needs to use their video challenge. The referee will check to make sure he has the information from all angles. Our tournament manager, Hannes, reminding them that they need to keep their commentary to themselves for the moment.
Yeah, and this sport being decided by judges, but actually the quality of the tournaments is often referenced solely not by staff etc., but how the judges are actually managing to make fair decisions. So it's probably also the reason why we see like a lot of video repeats in any case of doubt.
Yes.
To make sure we have this right, get this right.
Because even these very experienced fencers, they try to make it as clean as they can. If it's so tight and so close to each other, then it's very hard to determine.
I will trust my judge. Attack with the shootout. Trust in border zone. Afterblow. Flat
So
side judge 1.12.
again, no score. Fight being very, very tight.
So we're yet to see a clear exchange. I hope we will see at least some nice actions.
Attack
Okay.
from blue connected with hand afterblow late. 1 point blue. 1 point blue. Ready?
So Zdeněk is capitalizing his speed, hitting first. This will be border zone.
Joining Mike's side judge. I've seen slight connection from blue in contre-attack, but I believe it was passé.
Miro was able to dodge the initial one-handed action and then
Strike is
close
slow.
in, strike towards the head. And the video challenge will show whether or not the connection of Zdeněk to the mask of Miro was
the trust,
enough.
The trust evidently passed. Now the question is,
Did it connect and
did it connect
then
and-
pass, or
and did the blade bend at least a bit to show some force being transmitted to the target?
both angles will be checked to make sure that all the available information is used in the decision. Seems that they've reached a conclusion.
Well, people in the stream are definitely saying that it connected.
It definitely connected. So, because this tournament filters on quality quite strictly, excellent. That seems like a very good solution because neither fighter was safe when moving in. So in line with the spirit of the rule set, if unclear, please make it unclear so we can have more clear exchanges.
So this is also like a bit of, I would say, specific of HEMA, because HEMA being the only sport spending like 5 seconds of trusting a hit and then 2 months on commenting whether it was according to sources of good quality and if it actually happened and people did look good.
Absolutely, because it's a very subjective situation. There's a lot of different sources and even more types of interpretation.
And also I think the HEMA community likes drama quite a lot.
Well, a healthy debate.
Healthy debate.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, well, okay. Okay, so we finally saw a clear strike.
Yes. After Miro takes a 1-point lead. Now Zdeněk comes back, so again they're tied at 3 points each. And there's now a video challenge, as you can see the replay.
Alright, so back to the fight.
It's a very tight match. There's a lot of pain visible in the faces of the judges and the refs as they try to come to the correct conclusion. Because everyone wants to make sure that all the hard-fought and earned points are actually given.
Oh, and also because this time it's not just for fun, we're introduced the cash prize. So we need to make sure that it's actually assigned correctly. So this is quite an exciting match.
I believe it was double, but in different zones. Red was deep, blue in the 1.20.
It's difficult to see from all angles. It looked from this angle like it reached the body, but yes, it was indeed to the body. So challenge accepted.
So of course there's like continuing debates of whether to introduce some scoring like in Olympic fencing, but the problem with the scoring that Olympic fencing has is that it has no concept of quality. And we believe strongly that this would change the sport quite too much towards the pure sport side. Okay, interesting exchange.
It would take a lot of work to make sure that only on certain actions the score will be counted appropriately.
And edge alignment.
See, the fight is very tense, and as Miro advances, Zdeněk retreating to break his tempo. Strike and afterblow again, no scoring action. Still tied at 3 points each. Zdeněk taking more initiative now, but can't get away safely. There's some deliberation among the judges to see whether they agree on the actual connection.
I think we
And
will see.
The
Right, so we have another video replay. It's getting quite slow, this final.
Are you not entertained?
It seems that we really have a lot of pressure on the judges with this one.
yeah, they really want to do the best job they possibly can, and the fighters are clearly hitting each other, but also not giving them a lot of time to be seen. At the pace they change angles and intersect. Seems they agree. So deep target hit by red, and then afterblow negating 1 point makes it 4-3 for Miro. Takes the lead again. See if Zdeněk will change it up. Yes.
All right.
Beautiful thrust.
Beautiful.
Covered safely. Yes, it was, I think, indeed on the shoulder and not on the chest, making it tied at 4.
But beautiful.
Really nice
action,
to have it.
beautiful
Yes.
action.
Such a close match at the end. Nice.
It's
Quick
always-
decision to maintain or keep as much time as possible for the next exchange. Oh,
Right, so
possibly the longest exchange of the entire fight, with the one-handed action from the blue fencer, initiating it, and then
I think this,
We will watch your repeat bounces. The only one valid action, fencing-wise, that I saw, it's very close in down from blue. But it may happen after in down.
so many things happened there. The blue fencer initiated a one-handed action that did not connect. Then red fencer closed in the distance. They both were able to strike and parry. And at some point there was a connection. The referee sees a strike to the arm of the blue fencer, but isn't sure if it happened before or after ring out. And that would change everything. So they will again use the video review to make sure they have
there was
all
a
the
series
available
of
information.
strikes, but
Yeah. That's some really top-notch action at the end of this long day.
Yes, it was a big action, but red fencer eventually landed in the last three. Strike enough.
So it's a strike and Afterblow, no scoring action. So tied at 4 apiece. They now go into the last exchange. Miro scraping the ground, getting ready. Both of them hunkering down.
Miro definitely needs to win this exchange,
Oh,
but
getting hit on the entry will make sure he doesn't win the match. So even for this last one, they will again check the video just to be safe. With the speed of these fences, it is so incredibly difficult to properly determine edge alignment and exact targeting.
Jesus, I wouldn't want to judge this. So the quality is really border zone.
Who do you think is more tense, the fighters or the judges?
I think the judges actually.
The fighters look actually quite calm and relaxed.
Exactly, they've done their thing, but the judges now will need to say correctly what happened. So I think this can end quite unexpectedly. Since,
Yeah, the tie really broke everything apart.
yeah, if this happens,
It's very exciting to see something determined in this fight, but not by the fighter that's currently in this last fight.
all right, so we have another chance.
Excellent. So they're unsure, so it's called an unclear exchange. So we will have one more final exchange. There's clearly a connection from a blade to gear, but it's judged it's insufficient quality. We see a tiny head shake from the blue fencer.
Okay, so it seems that Alexandra is really intended to not having this final ended by a one-handed leg strike.
No, I think he just doesn't want it ended by a strike of which he's uncertain of the quality.
Alright.
So, after some deliberation, we will get the final call on the final last exchange. And yes, it's awarded, so that makes the fight. And that was the last exchange of our last fight of the day, after more than 600 fights in the tournament. We'll now have to figure out the win.
So this is the most weird final we've seen so far. So it seems that it all will be decided by a draw. So the current situation is Zdeněk Bridl having 2 wins and 1 loss. Václav Sokol
Having 2 wins and 1 draw.
Yes, and 1 draw, and Miro Lahtela
Having a,
win, a loss, and a draw. So I think this is clear.
I think so too.
So we have a winner, and no one expected it.
Yes. Finally a final that is not won by Anna.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We'll now
Well,
move into the
I think
the
that
last ceremony.
I think that even Václav did not expect this win.
I think I physically aged with this pool. Okay. The 4th place goes to Adam Blasco! Sasha, what does he receive? Quick. Some shit. Okay. The 3rd place goes to Miro Lahtela! The 2nd place goes to Zdeněk Brídl!
So, some shit and beautiful tiger from Papi Armory.
All right. So with this, we're slowly concluding BOHEMA Afterblow
The 1st place
2025.
in the advanced longsword competition at BOHEMA 2025 goes to Václav Sokol!
With Václav Sokol stealing the finals with the last fight of Zdeněk Brídl and Miro Lahtela.
I really hate him as a fencer. But we judge fairly. So, the cash prize for Václav.
So Václav is winning 3,000 euros cash prize, the mandatory chocolate medal, and of course the epic icon diploma. Well, I just hope that next year we will see more Czech fencers fighting here, because definitely they managed to compete quite successfully against the best fencers from every team. And it would be quite nice seeing more of local audience and local competitors in this tournament next years to come.
Take the pictures.
It was definitely a weekend full of very, very interesting matches with people from all sorts of backgrounds and all sorts of approaches, seeing if they could compete under this slightly different rule set again.
Before we end this, I don't know whether Sasha wants something to say, but before we end this, regarding all the staffers, from the people that fix the hall, that fix the food, to the judges, the tables, everybody,
Right,
big round of
and
applause.
with this I think we can conclude today's stream.
Yes.
So
Thanks everyone for
watching,
tuning in.
and hopefully see you next year on this even bigger tournament.
If you couldn't make it, then train hard and come compete next time.
Good night, good fight.
Bye.
Applause for Hannes. There is only one important piece of information. Next year, last weekend of September, BOHEMA, the 3rd edition. You're all welcome. Shut off the stream. Shut it off.